nourishment were tested to the limit when a trip to Mexico went disastrously wrong. He was visiting a ruin in the jungle and took a wrong path, one that nearly led to his death. After days alone, Ken was desperately hungry. He was deep in the jungle, surrounded by unknown plants and animals, but he sensed which food would keep him alive.
I was sort of looking for anything that might be of some nourishment, and I saw this lizard. I was trying to decide if I was really that desperate or not, but I knew that I had to eat something. As I started putting him in my mouth, he sprawled out his little legs in my throat and kind of made me gag, and I'd pull him back out, and I had to smack his head up against a tree a couple of times to make sure he was dead. And I swallowed him whole.
But one small lizard didn't sustain Ken for long, and soon he was close to death.
It'd been 12, 13 days. I noticed there was vultures that started following me around. First few days, there was a couple there, and then there were a few more, and I began to wonder if maybe they knew something that I didn't. And that kind of gave me the creeps. I would watch them circle overhead. And one day, the vultures were so close, they circled all the way down to the ground, and I could actually hear the wind off their wings when they went by. I gave a lot of thought to dying after a while, but then again, I had to convince myself that I was perfectly capable of getting out of there on my own, and I was going to do it.
Ken needed to find more food if he was going to live.
I saw some fruit that was growing on a tree. As I bit into it, it didn't taste so bad at first. And as I started to chew it, it became very bitter. It had a chemical taste like lighter fluid. It was awful. I was afraid that was going to be poison.
The instinct to spit out the bitter-tasting fruit may well have saved Ken's life. After 19 days in the jungle, Ken walked out alive. What helped Ken survive is a highly sophisticated piece of equipment. The human tongue has a number of uses, but its basic function is to tell us what's good for us and what could harm us. 5,000 taste buds let us know what to swallow and what to spit out. And to stay in perfect working order, taste buds only last 10 days before new ones develop. Our tongues are the gatekeepers to our stomachs. The way we interpret taste is a vital life-saving instinct, and it's one that emerges at a remarkably young age.
Foods that have lots of useful energy often taste sweet and sugary. And that's why babies instinctively like sweet foods. So let's see what happens when this baby tries this.
A sweet and sugary concoction of banana puree.
So try this. Go on, yeah, it's very sweet. You'll like this, you'll like it a lot. There, good boy. Do a bit more. It's sweet, isn't it? But you want a bit more, of course.
Naturally, these babies love it. It's just what their instincts ordered.
Whereas a lot of toxic foods taste bitter. This pureed radicchio isn't actually toxic, but it tastes incredibly bitter, and our babies should find it instinctively, well, yucky. death give you this horrible food?
No one needs to teach these babies to avoid bitter food. One small taste is enough to activate the long-evolved survival instinct.
You've gone all pink in the face, look. I'm sorry, I don't want to do this. You've got to...
If it's yucky, it might be life-threatening, so spit it out.
Open wide. You don't like, oh, I'm sorry, you don't like it? Try a little bit. Well, you really like it. Yes? Yeah. And it's not just babies that find bitter food disgusting. We all do.
For our ancient ancestors, life was a constant struggle. And it wasn't just finding the right food to eat. Physical threats were everywhere. Here, our survival instincts were honed in an endless round of life and death dramas. These instincts are still deep within us today, and perhaps that's why at times we go looking for danger, to test them out. Pamplona, Spain, the place where danger is sought and survival instincts are put to the test. Every year, during the festival of San Fermin, people come from all over the world to run with the bulls. It's the ultimate adrenaline rush. Since the bull run began, hundreds of people have been horribly gored, and many have lost their lives. Thousands invade Pamplona to experience the sheer thrill of facing death. This summer, firefighter Andy Minton is one of them.
At home, I had a lot of friends tell me I'm crazy, but it's something I've always wanted to do ever since I was a teenager, and finally put some money together, and here it is. Hopefully it's the first of many trips to Pamplona.
Andy's agreed to take part in our experiment to see how the body responds at moments of acute danger, like being chased by 6 angry bulls.
Okay, we got a heart rate monitor here. It's going to go around my torso.
He'll be wired up to a whole variety of medical sensors. First, a heart rate monitor. This will relay information to a special watch he'll wear on his wrist.
It's like it's fluctuating between 104 and 110. That's a little high. That's a little high. I can feel my heart beating in my chest right now. It's a blood pressure cuff. It's going to go on my left wrist. We're going to get a blood pressure reading right now. See how excited I am. About an hour and 15 minutes before the run. Got 159 over 112, so it's a little high already. Finally, I'm going to put a swab in my mouth. It's going to measure the cortisol level. It's a stress hormone.
The body chemical cortisol is closely associated with adrenaline. Adrenaline may save Andy's life, enabling him to run faster than he's ever done before. Now that Andy is rigged and ready, all he has to do is to wait.
I feel excited. It's an hour before the run, and we watched him erect the barriers. I'm ready to go. The possibility of death by a bull it's there, it's real. It's in the back of my mind.
The bulls are released. Andy waits for them to come near. In the tradition of the bull run, the challenge is to get as close to a charging bull as you dare, without getting gored. The bulls are just inches away, and Andy's body is flooded with a massive burst of adrenaline. His cortisol levels more than double. From a normal resting rate of 72 beats per minute, Andy's heart rate rockets, tripling to an amazing 230 beats per minute.
Definitely in fear. You're definitely in fear. You can feel the stomp of the feet and the hooves and everything. It's wow. It's incredible.
The fear instincts that we rely on to save our lives are immensely powerful, so it's very difficult to turn them off at will. Now, I like to think of myself as a really rational human being. But no matter how often I'm told that these spiders are harmless and can't possibly hurt me, I'm terrified about being even this close to them. This machine is called a relaxometer, and it measures my stress level